I'm gonna try and cut the intro short in this video. I genuinely could not believe what I was seeing, and I'm still super pissed at this thing's existence due to how fucked up it is. It is genuinely one of, if not the worst Laras comic to have ever been written. If you think Babysitter is not your fault or your welcome is messed up, this comic blows all of that out of the water. And I'm not trying to exaggerate here, you will see. My tone would also change here as I might inject some humor here and there, and it may come off a little jarring to some, but this is how I'm gonna power through this horrid thing. Cause this thing is a much more dark, disturbing, and heavy topic to cover. This comic's whole entire structure and plot all revolves around one of the most awful things a person could ever conceive. Because the center of this comic is Lily Loud. And she's not even safe. This part is for YouTube. Clyde and Lily here are both adults, and they're actually just practicing witchcraft. Nothing terrible is happening, I promise. Anywho, I'm also a bit conflicted on the character designs here. In the original show, Lily is often depicted as topless prior to season 5, and they've drawn with 2 black dots. Here, they are more detailed as in it has more of a shape. I'm gonna blur these since they're pretty uncomfortable to look at and I'm not having another video age restricted. And of course, do not harass or brigade this person anywhere. That's all I have to say. Let's just get on with it. This comic was not made by either Javi Suzumiya or a doll person, but rather by the creator DriAE, which I'm just going to refer to as Ian going forward. If you know, you know. They are a Spanish-based creator like Javi Suzumiya and a doll person. This comic was created around May 6, 2022 on his Barag page. I tried checking their Pixiv account and found that he got blocked, so even he was too much for that platform, as well as his Patreon too. Anywho, the comic begins inside the McBride residence where we meet our main character, Clyde McBride, son of Harold and Howard McBride, and best friend of Lincoln. His parents were about to leave for a cruise and he was left with the responsibility of taking care of Lily. And all were going well and pretty wholesome as the two bonded and played hide and seek together. That was until Lily wandered around the house and stumbled upon Clyde's shrine dedicated to Lori, which was a real thing in the show by the way. Continuing, Lily didn't have much time to dwell on that as she was found and in need of a diaper change, and was also tired and ready to sleep. This drawing is fucked. The two fell asleep, ready to start the next day with a banger. Until Clyde started dreaming, and Lily was grumbling. And what was Clyde's dream, you may ask? Well, he basically had a wet dream where he was having intercourse with Lori, since Clyde once had a crush on her from the earlier seasons. While that was happening, Lily woke up hungry as Clyde forgot to feed her previously, so she tried to wake him up, but to no avail. And that was when she noticed his... Basically, Lily mistook his as a bottle of chocolate milk. Are you guys having fun with me? Like, how does it feel to be the one listening to all of this? Cause it is definitely different from actually reading the comic and making a video about it. It's horrible. And given the situation, Lily is hungry and gravely mistook something. One thing leads to another, I'm questioning what I'm doing with my summer. This awful scene ends with Clyde waking up from his dream feeling rather satisfied with himself, until he looked down and saw this crime against humanity happening. The next day, Clyde was in a severe state of shock and horror as he tried to clean and cover up the evidence, contemplating on what he should do next. And the solution was to just tell Lincoln? What? Did bro think after raping his best friend's baby sister that it was all a big mistake? He would understand. I'm trying to be charitable with my interpretation of this comic that's essentially a wish fulfillment for sick, depraved monsters who enjoy this type of content. But maybe Clyde wasn't thinking rationally since he is in fear of what he has done? Maybe it might just be a terrible misunderstanding. Maybe they will actually understand. Okay, maybe you could try to argue that he's a victim in a way, but he is literally getting aroused by just recounting the events last night. And who the fuck would defend this guy? Continuing, while Clyde was on his way to 1216 Franklin Avenue, he came across... Who? This character you've likely never seen is Loop Aloud, created by Jump Jump. Shit, that's what I want to do now. Which comes from this Loudhouse AU called the Sin Kids AU. I'm not gonna get too deep into this rabbit hole, but what it is in a nutshell is basically, what if Lincoln had a child with every single one of his sisters? Lupa being the child between Lincoln and Lucy. And the reason why she is here is, get ready for this humdinger, this comic is a spin-off. Yeah, a spin-off of what exactly? A spin-off of another comic by Ian called The Loud Timeline, which is another rabbit hole itself, and I ain't gonna say what it is yet. Back on topic, their interaction was pretty pointless, so was this comic, and Lily woke up again hungry. Clyde was still having issues with his thing while Lily was getting more impatient for her bottle. Crazy shit happens and now Clyde's pants are down and they're in an alley and Stella caught up with them. She asked what he was doing there and he gave a half-assed reason about some science project in the summer. All the while Lily was doing something I could not mention. This conversation ends with Stella leaving him behind, weirded out by his odd behavior, but was unaware of what was truly happening. And I wish she was, as it would have prevented what has yet to come. Back at the McBride house, Clyde was having the worst moment of his life. But something must have flickered in his brain as he is now actually just doing the common pedo defense of, they liked it so it's okay. I'm so sick of this guy. Yeah, Clyde by this point going forward is not a victim, nor could he argue anything for his innocence. He is aware of what he is doing, yet continues to do so. It gets worse as Lily wanders off to the same Lori shrine room again and she wears the wig, making her look like Lori, but in toddler form. And reading through this demonic shit, it's implied that Lily is still unaware of what's happening. Who would have fucking guessed that the baby could not think rationally at all? And after which, the most disturbing act was committed, and I'm not gonna say much more about this part. The comic ends abruptly with the two thinking about taking a bath. That's it, and I still can't show anything here for obvious reasons. The fucking end. No, not the fucking end, cause this thing has a part 2. Like It's Not Your Fault Part 2, like 3 is a Card Part 2. This too has a Part 2. But thankfully, it's only 5 pages long. Why? It's because it's incomplete. Yeah, this is still an ongoing project with the latest page being uploaded just an hour ago as of the revision of this script. The 4th page was uploaded about a month ago. So this piece of shit is still actively posting this. Hey Mr. Ian, I have a tip for you. Quit! Quit now and turn yourself over, please, for the love of God and all His creations, and the safety of all children. Anyways, this part continues where we left off as Clyde is having breakfast and a special guest arrives at the house. The FBI? CBS? Nope, it was Lori who came to check up on Lily to see how she was doing. To cut this part short since I don't want to do this anymore, Lori came over to check up and change Lily's diaper, which got Clyde all crazy again. She left the house just as blissfully unaware of the horrors that happened like Stella from earlier, leaving Lily with him. The final publicly released page as of today shows Clyde fully committed to the evil acts he so desperately tries to prevent, and that is where we are left at, and hopefully it stays that way. The fucking end. This was the worst comic I have ever read and made a video on. I'd be surprised if this video doesn't get age restricted, but I imagine it would given the subject matter. I genuinely do not know how someone out there is making these comics without getting uncomfortable at themselves. Like, the lack of basic morality and shame on these people is actually concerning. I do know one thing that motivates them to make these. Money. Personally, I'm not anti-money. I'm just anti whatever the fuck this is. Even if their Patreon had been removed, they're still making who knows how much with this, along with their other projects via commissions in a VIP Discord server, whatever the hell that could be, so they're comfortable in making these. Hell, there are actually VIP only pages of this comic that hasn't been publicly released to the public, so someone out there is paying this guy for this type of content for early access. Genuinely, there are people out there who are making these comics who are earning more than you. I'll let you dwell on that thought for a moment. Anyways, that was this comic. I'm obliged to say to not go out and harass and brigade this person because I actually do believe it often does nothing to help anyone. But what I will say is this. Kung ano ba naman ang mangyari sa taong ito, sabihin niyo sa akin, baka ako'y matuwa. Thank you all for watching this video of mine. I know it's incredibly hard to sit through, so great job on powering through. But until next time, watch out for the babysitter.